Hi, everybody. First Source TV here. I just dropped by because I have a few things that I want to address on this evening. I received a few phone calls on today wanting to know why I got up on Edward Joseph's panel on last night. This is what I want to make everything want this. I want to make this clear to everybody who's listening to this. Uh, when you're going through a spiritual awareness, awakening awareness, when God is tugging on you and calling you to repentance, and you're obedient, you're subordinate to the voice of God, um, uh, or if you're not obedient in the beginning, He will constantly tug at you until you do His work. Okay, and so me getting up on Edward Joseph's panel on last night had nothing to do with anybody else that I associate with. The people that are close to me, uh, my feelings will never change for them. Uh, I know this might not have felt good uh, to some of you all, but I want to make it clear to you all that uh, I'm still the same person. I just have to move in the direction that God is leading me. Because, like I said, if you're not obedient to the voice of God, He will continue to nug, tug, pull, and sometimes even grab you and shake you up until you do the work. So that was what happened on last night. The olive branch that I extended on last night was for me, and it was between me and God. It had nothing to do with any of my friends. I love you all just the same. Just the same. Okay? Um, I also want to speak a little bit about Tiffany because we really didn't speak about Tiffany. Um, it breaks my heart because I knew early on what had happened with Tiffany. This is a very, very sensitive subject, so I'm going to try to um, use my words very, very wisely because I don't want to do anything or say anything to um, defame her, take her dignity away, or anything like that because she was precious, guys. Tiffany was precious. If you've been on YouTube for 10, 8, 9, 10 years, 7, 8 years, um, almost a decade now, uh, even when I wasn't subscribed to her before the Kanika Jenkins case, I would still watch her content and I wasn't subscribed to her. And I always found her to be a very, very charismatic and bright young lady. Um, so, and this is before she and I ever started to interact, okay? And we didn't have many interactions. It's not like we had this close, relationship where we texted each other and stuff like that. It wasn't like that. I've only spoken to her about twice, 2 or 3 times. But from watching her over the years as a young girl on YouTube and how she grew into it, developed, and I saw from her, I saw a child turn into a woman And I got a chance to see um, her growth in God. I did. I watched that. And when she passed away, that that affected me on, it was on another level, guys. I'm serious. I literally shut down. I didn't want to do anything. I stayed in the bed. I wasn't on YouTube. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to do anything because when she passed, it clicked for me that life is nothing but a vapor. And also that we never know what another person is going through in their personal lives. We get on YouTube, and I'll say it for myself as well as everybody else. We're on YouTube, and we have created characters for ourselves on YouTube. We are all characters, okay? Um, we're not like that in real life. We're not. Um, when she passed, it affected me in a really, really bad way. Um, I understand. And also from, a lot of my family members passing as well. You know, life is nothing but a vapor. Years ago, they would say, you're here today and gone tomorrow. But what I say now is that you're here in one breath and you're gone in the next. Because life is nothing but a vapor. So when you begin to understand the cycle of life, understanding your purpose, um, and trying to fulfill it, because you'll begin to understand that at the end of the journey, you know, that's when real life really begins, because that's where we'll spend eternity. None of us will come back here in a physical body. None of us. So for me, it's okay. You've done all this good work, you know, for God. You've answered your calling. You understand your purpose. And you've done all of this good work. And then now, you're getting into trouble because of your behavior. And you may just end up missing heaven because of the way that you're behaving over social media with people you really don't know. So that clicked for me. It had nothing to do with anybody else but clearing the air and being obedient to the voice of God. That's what it was about. Um, like I said, we watched Tiff grow, and we missed the signs, guys. We missed the signs. We saw them, but we looked over them. And when I reflect back on it, she made peace with Lady Goddess. She made peace with Edward. So something was going on, because we know how she operates. Okay? But we missed it. We looked over it. Why did she make peace with these people? It was because she was preparing herself. Tiffany was a spiritual young lady. So she understood that even though her, and this is the thing, and that's why I say I'm going to try to choose my words wisely, because she was spiritual, and the way she left this earth it was tragic. And some people may say, okay, well, this is something that cannot be forgiven. But here's what I believe. I believe that when spiritual people are struggling, they know enough to, if something like this, if they attempt to, or they succeed in doing something like this, that they know enough to cry out to God and ask for forgiveness. Some people may call it selfish, that act selfish, but like I say, we do not know what she was going through internally. We know that she was a diabetic and young, at a young age, so she was in her early 30s. So I'm thinking because she had it so young, she had juvenile diabetes. So just imagine living as a child with being a diabetic and not getting better. Diabetes is a very, very um, weird. It does weird things to the body, guys. Um, People lose their eyesight, they lose limbs. Um, their pancreas can become affected, and when that happens, you know, uh, when the pancreas becomes affected, that is an organ or a tissue that cannot be repaired. Um, they know that life is soon to end, and just trying to understand what she may have been going through and why she did what she did. Um, you know, uh, God is the ultimate judge of all people, so we cannot judge her because we don't know what she was going through. All I know is that I saw a vibrant young lady over the internet over the years with a very, very bright future, somebody that I grew to care about, um, leave this earth in a tragic way, and that hurt me. I thought about the mortality of my own kids once again, you know, um, and also myself. It just put me in a space where I was just thinking about life and death, the cycle of life. And I didn't want, or I don't want, God forbid, anything should happen to me prematurely that I have unsettled business on this side of heaven. So that's why I did what I did. It was for me and it was for God. I was being obedient to the Word of God, considering everything that has happened in my life personally and what we see happening over social media with people just dying, young people dying prematurely, you know. So that's what I wanted to say. It had nothing to do with anybody else. Um, Cassie knows I love her. You know, she knows that I don't agree with um, the things that he says when it comes to her children. But like I said, I try to make be the peacemaker, but I understand that that's not gonna happen. So I have to remove myself from it because I'll always get attacked because I am her friend. I hope that makes sense to you guys. because I don't do anybody anything. And another thing I've come to realize is that because I am the person that I am, easy to talk to, I have a listening ear, people tend to gravitate to me. And I'm very, very humble. So oftentimes people think that they can make me do or yeah, they think they can make me do or make me be a certain way. And I'm a very humble person, but I'm very, very strong-willed. I I've always been a leader. So I don't do well with taking um, you know, I don't do well with that. I've done that because in order to lead, you have to follow. So I've been a follower before, and but now, most of my life I've been a leader. I've always been leading something, you know, whether it be leading, being teaching, acting classes, teaching in school, in Sunday school. Being, I've always been in a position to lead people and teach people. And so it's hard for me to follow. Now I'm open to, I'm not closed minded about things. But again, when I learn something and I know what I've learned to be accurate and true, it's kind of hard. I can lend an ear and an eye, but it's kind of, I can't change what I've learned, especially if it's accurate and true, you know. Um, but I just wanted to share that with you guys because, yeah, people want to know why I went on the panel. And that's why it was because I was being obedient to the voice of God. You know, life is hard, guys, and people are not living as long as they used to. So I am a spiritual person, but I also live in the reality of things. We've been watching death all around us since the beginning of COVID, you know, and then when COVID subsided a little bit, we still saw death, but especially with me, with my family members, you know, people who were seemingly, who appeared to be well, just dropping dead. So yeah, I've been thinking about a lot of things, guys, and that was my reason for making peace. So now I feel better because I know I don't have any lingering things on my shoulder, like a weight was lifted. That's something that had to be cleared up. And I'm glad I got that done. It doesn't take anything away from the way I feel about Cassie. You know, Cassie is my girl. I hate what happens to her. I absolutely hate it. And I hate when they speak on her children. It makes no sense to me. But I'm not other people. And I understand that just like they can't change the way I feel and the way I think, I can't change the way they feel and they think. I just wanted to make sure that I was not caught up in the middle of all of it because I was hearing my name being called again. And I felt that to be so unfair because I'm not putting up videos about anybody or anything like that, you know. So I just wanted to let you guys know the reason for me getting up on Edward's panel on last night. Thank you guys for lending your ear to listen to me on tonight. And You guys have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.